Britain has defended its decision to impose a 14-day quarantine for travellers from Spain. The Spanish Prime Minister says it's, quote, unjust. He says Spain's rate of COVID-19 infections is lower than the UK's, but the British government disagrees and might extend the measures to include other countries. Holly Hudson joins us now from London for more on this. Holly, Britain is being strict about its quarantine rules on Spain. Is this part of its latest approach to containing the coronavirus?
Yes, very strict in many ways, actually, uncompromising. The UK government seemingly sticking to its guns, even in the face of growing diplomatic tensions with Spain, going as far as to even extend the Foreign Office advice against travel, not just to mainland Spain now, but to the islands, the Balearics and the Canaries as well. And we've heard from Boris Johnson in the last few hours defending the government's decision, saying it is their duty to prevent against a second wave. And there are signs of one emerging in Europe at the moment. He says this is exactly the swift and decisive action that the government needs to make against in this crisis, and so justifying the decision, very much implying that this is something that they will do in other countries as well. A significant intervention from the Prime Minister in this respect, even though there has been a huge amount of objection here and criticism over the handling of this. The opposition party Labour describing it as chaotic. Travel operators say it's shambolic, and as you say, the Spanish Prime Minister as well describing this decision as unjust, disproportionate in error. He says, urging the British government to rethink and reconsider and adopt a more localised approach to its travel ban, as has been adopted by Germany today. But really, the UK government not budging on this, and this decision was a rapid change in policy enacted on Saturday night. It left travellers with just a few hours unable to avoid a 2-week quarantine, myself included.
All right, speaking of that, Holly, we know that you just returned from Spain. What are the measures like over there? Any differences compared to Britain? Do you actually feel safe, though?
Yes, certainly. I myself was in Ibiza at the time that this rapid change of policy was announced and enacted, and it left just a 5-hour window for travellers to return before a quarantine was enacted. And of course, I'm lucky enough to be able to report to you here from my balcony in self-isolation. But a lot of people, a lot of Brits, not lucky enough to do the same. They will have said that they're very angry about the fact that they wouldn't have gone to Spain if they'd have known they would have to quarantine for 2 weeks and potentially won't be paid by their employers. And that frustration sort of added to, in the sense that many travellers I've spoken to felt the same as I did, that they were very safe in Spain. The measures, particularly on face masks, actually went further than they do here in the UK. You have to wear them even on the beach in southern Spain, out and about. Here, of course, it's shops and on public transport. I had my temperature checked on a ferry, but the British government point to the fact that cases in Spain have risen 75% in some areas in the last week. As you say, the Spanish government pointing to the fact that the infection rate in the islands is in fact lower than it is in mainland Spain, and the UK tourists are safer from the coronavirus there than they would be here.
Yeah, Mary, thanks for sharing that update with us. Holly Hudson speaking to us from London.